Hey everybody, Mike Lawson here with Fit Exec. On the show today, we have CUneXus Dave Buerger talking about how exercise is his creative outlet. So check it out. Hey everybody, Mike Lawson here with Fit Exec. Welcome to our program, and we have yet another Fit Executive on the program. Is Mr. Dave Buerger from CUneXus. How's it going, Dave?
Terrific. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome to the show, sir. And we've known each other for about a year or so now. And the last time we spoke, I noticed that you were like an avid cyclist, a mountain biker, and all that type of stuff. And it's like, he's the perfect guy to have on the show. And so, I mean, to kick things off here, what do you do to stay fit and healthy?
Oh, wow. Anything I can, really. It's always a struggle, but running, a lot of trail running, mountain biking, really into boating, wakeboarding, wake surfing, which is a fun passion of mine. I used to do a lot of snowboarding as well, but not quite as much anymore.
Hard on the knees.
It's yes. Hard on the whole body.
On the whole body. I remember those days too. Yes. And so I mean, do you do any like special diet, plenty of rest, all that type of stuff as well? Because you're a busy guy heading up this company and then finding time to stay fit.
Yeah. I wish I could say I was better with the diet and the sleep. Those are probably the two areas where I'm not as healthy as I should. I'm when it comes to diet, I'm probably the anti-healthy. And
gotcha.
My exercise that I do is really to make up for my diet.
Okay, I gotcha. That's a common story.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of that.
Breakfast of a banana and a cup of coffee, and lucky if I eat something during the afternoon, and then I gorge myself in the evening.
Gotcha.
But I do quite a bit of exercise.
Okay.
And on the weekends, I try to eat right. My wife keeps me in check with the food that I do put in my body. She's very health conscious. She was a health teacher.
Oh, okay.
And has a degree in health. So we eat well, in the household.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm not always in the household.
Right. You're at the office and temptation, that cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but how do you see it? How do you see it benefiting your job, and why do you think it's so important?
Yeah, actually, I look at my exercise that I do as sort of my meditation. It's the one time that I'm not able to stare at my phone or check emails or really. I can detach a little bit.
Right.
I also seem to get some of my best ideas when I'm running in the hills or mountain biking. So while I think it's a good way to balance sort of my fitness and my business, it's also a time for creative thought to really get inside my head and get some great ideas. So I find it benefits the business. I actually, for the first few years of this company, as I was starting up CUneXus, Monday mornings I would always take a 3-hour trail run up in the mountains, and I considered that my boardroom time. I called the hills behind my house the boardroom because I would go up there. I would get motivated for the week. I would get always come up with great ideas that I took back and started to. Really work on throughout that week. So it's an important.
That's a good tip. That's a really good tip for people to kind of start off their week right and get your head in position or get it straight and motivated for work. Because that's a common, I'm finding as more of these interviews that I do, that's a common occurrence where you're out running or you're biking or you're swimming or doing something like that. And all these creative thoughts, or you come up with solutions to issues at work and things like that. This is starting to become a recurring theme because the same thing happens to me too. I'll just be mindlessly swimming or running or doing something like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that sooner? That type of thing.
Yeah. I find myself, I have a email headline that I send to myself. So I'll be running and I have my app that I use to track all of my fitness activities. And so my phone is in my hand and I do have reception. I'm just not checking emails, but I'll come up with an idea. I'll stop. I'll email it to myself. And by the end of the run, I usually have an inbox full of ideas. I draw on those quite a bit.
That's a great idea. Hey, and just as a tangent, what app do you use for all your fitness tracking and all that type of stuff?
I use one called RunKeeper. I've been using that for years. I've actually logged, I think I'm coming up on about 6,000 miles on that.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Wow, Dave.
Yeah, I actually, it's a funny story and one that I actually don't like to admit, but I I started running as an answer to quitting smoking. I think about 4 or 5 years ago. I quit smoking. I figured I needed a new addiction, but something healthy, and I started running, and I became addicted to it. I literally, I have a hard time going more than 2 days without really long runs. So it was a trade-off, and obviously a good one for my health. But I started tracking using RunKeeper, and then I started mountain biking a lot too, entering races and things. And everyone was using Strava, which is a real popular program. And I just can't quit now because I've logged every mile on
exactly.
This. If that app ever goes away, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're in trouble. So, I mean, so how do you, I mean, you mentioned at the beginning of your week when you were first starting out your company and you would do your 3-hour run in the hills and stuff. I mean, how do you, I mean, you're obviously a busy guy, family, work, all that time. How do you fit in your fitness each day? I mean, do you do something every day, or is it every other day, or mainly the weekends? How do you work? How do you schedule it?
Yeah, I do. I try to do something 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay.
Usually that looks like waking up, as early as I can manage in the morning. I'm not really a morning person, but I'm learning to be. And then I get up and I have there's a little lake behind my house, a park with it's about a 3-mile run around the lake, and the lake's about a half mile from my house. So I get just about a 4-mile run in, and I can do that in about a half hour. And so I'll run, get up first thing, get out the door, run 4 miles, come back, get ready, get my kids ready for school, take them to school. It's sort of my morning routine.
Yeah.
And that's when I sneak in that coffee and banana or something, or my wife makes me a smoothie.
Nice.
And that's kind of how I get my morning started. It gets my juices flowing and my creativity flowing. And also just kind of wakes me up and gets me energized for the day. So I'll do that every other day. I'll run every other day. And the days where I'm not running, I do I either go to the gym, workout, or just do some workout from home, sit-ups, push-ups, things like that.
Yeah, even that little stuff is important. And I mean, that's what I find is like, gosh, if I stop doing sit-ups or push-ups or something like that for like a week, I feel a huge difference. But even just taking 15 minutes out of your day just to go do some sit-ups and push-ups makes a huge difference if you do it consistently.
Yeah. Absolutely, 15, 20 minutes in the morning, I can do about 8 different exercises. And that's usually what my fallback if I'm running late, or if there's something else I need to do in the morning, I'll at least fit that in.
Yeah.
Then I take one day off during the week, usually just to recuperate, and then on the weekends I'll do a longer run or a bike ride. So I'll spend at least a few hours out, running, or maybe do a half marathon or something. Okay. And then after that, if that's Saturday, then I'll take Sunday off to let my body rest. Rest is very, very important. How do you keep yourself in line? Do you have any accountability mechanisms built in, or is it all just kind of like you're kind of addicted to this now and it's become part of your life and you just do it? Or is there anybody, like, is your wife like pushing you out of the bed, like, get out and go do your run, or your app is like buzzing on your wrist or whatever on your phone? What accountability mechanisms do you have to keep this consistency? Well, I think it's just become part of my routine, and I don't feel right if I don't do it. I feel less energized when I go a few days. Like if I go on a business trip, it's really hard to keep that fitness up when you're gone for a week, staying in hotels or flying around. I try to use the gyms at the hotels, but I can feel it. By the time I get home, I just want to get out of the house and go for a run in the hills. So there's just the habit of doing it, I think, is now embedded in me for years. For the first year or so, I was motivated by the change I was seeing in my body and my health. Blood pressure went down considerably. I physically became more visibly fit, which was, once you see that transformation start to happen, call it vanity or call it just, or whatever it is.
Motivation.
It is. It's motivating. You see that there is, there are muscles under there somewhere, and it all starts to come to the surface, and then it becomes, you want to maintain that for yourself. Now I have kids, or I've had kids for a while, but I have twin boys. You have twins too.
Yes, I do. Twin girls, 4 years old. Crazy.
I have 8-year-old boys.
Okay.
And keeping up with them is a motivation too. They're at an age where they really love mountain biking now too. They like to go out and run with me.
Awesome.
And I want to be able to keep up with them for a long time. So there's that. And the app itself shows me, I can see when I've fallen behind on the activities.
So you got to catch up.
Yeah. So I like to make sure that if I've fallen behind in a week, that I make up for it the next week. So
mountain biking with your kids, I mean, that brings up another question for me, is like, what you're doing is infectious, not only to your kids, but probably to the people at your company as well. They see the leader, so to speak, and staying fit and doing stuff to stay fit. Do you find it infectious, or kind of maybe an influential, form for these folks? I mean, including your kids as well?
Well, I hope so, but I think, we're a pretty small company still, and the guys and girls that we work with, they're all pretty fit as well.
Oh, good.
It's just I think it's a lifestyle around here where we live.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone seems to be on the same wavelength that a fit body, or a relatively fit body, equals a fit mind, and
of course
a productive person. Not to say I wasn't productive before I started. I was still a pretty productive person.
But I can imagine what your energy level is now, though, and you're clear, the clarity with which you think, and all. I think it just kind of benefits everything.
It does, yeah. It benefits your confidence levels too.
Oh, yeah.
And just the way you approach life. You feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It helps in a lot of different ways.
And people see that. Definitely. All right, sir. Last question here. What advice do you have for others who may be kind of stuck in that rut, stuck in that cubicle, or stuck in the office, and thinking, gosh, if I could just get out and go for it, maybe that'll help me out in my career. I mean, do you have any advice for folks out there trying to get ahead, and how fitness can help out?
Yeah, I think, maybe it's, start small, right? And that's what I did. You have to build on it. You can't expect to be a marathon runner right away. And go out for a walk, get outside, try to be out. I try to be out in nature. I find nature and the removal of buildings and cars and noise to be really cleansing for myself.
Okay.
It's and that goes back to that feeling of I don't really meditate. I wish I did, but I'm high strung. I need to be moving all the time. But it's about as close as I can get.
Yeah.
And I am starting to work on trying to meditate and be able to focus my mind without 10,000 things going on around.
No doubt.
But that was the closest I could get for a long time, and oops.
You want to get that?
No, I just
just kidding.
But yeah, I think it's about starting small and building on it, and I think everyone I've talked to who's undergone the same thing, they grow, they start to add to it, and it becomes just a part of your life and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it will help.
Indeed. Very cool stuff. Dave, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is good
Anytime.
stuff. Great information. And that common thread about being creative and when you're out on a run or something like that, man, that's starting to really percolate to the surface. Good stuff, sir. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks, Mike.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.